What the hell is going on? What are you, mad? Are you crazy? Are you mental? Hello, welcome to a brand new sort of series, but not really a new series. It's basically a continuation of the Liverpool save, or the Brighton save. I'm now at my third club. What the hell is going on? I really should explain. Right, as you can see, new Arsenal manager. I'll give my reasons for going to Arsenal in a couple of minutes. Firstly, I should really explain why I've left Liverpool. There's about 3 or 4 different reasons. The main one is I basically want a new challenge. The Liverpool team is getting a little bit stale, won everything tons of times, and it's just generally not interesting or cool to play anymore. You know, it's just like another title win, you know, and it's getting predictable. You know, and even if this wasn't a series, I probably would retire. I mean, it doesn't even matter that it's a series, to be honest. I'm just playing this like I normally play, except I'm just like making checkpoint saves. That's all I'm doing, and then recap it. That's all I'm doing. So, I will make a Liverpool save at some point in the future, so if you do want to continue as Liverpool, you can. But that will be at a later date. I'll talk about that later on. The second reason, probably the second biggest reason is I had this massive problem with the youngsters and the young players. I've talked about this before. My biggest beef on Football Manager is the fact that the young players want too much first team football at too young of an age. This is my biggest problem with the game. And don't get me wrong, it's probably my fault for bringing in so many of them in the sort of same positions. You know, I think I've probably brought in too many defenders as opposed to, you know, balancing it with the right amount of strikers and midfielders and defenders. But that's not what really. The problem was I had all these players who wanted first team football at the age of like 19, 20, 21. Yeah, they wanted to start at Man City Stadium. They wanted to start at Old Trafford. They wanted to start centre back. And it's like, no, that's why I have players like Lukov. That's why I have players, senior players. That's where they start. But yet, what happened is they demand first team football. The next game would be against Old Trafford. I can't very well start them at Old Trafford because we're going to lose. We are going to lose. That's why I have these senior players. I need to play these senior players. And what would then happen is they wouldn't start that Old Trafford game. You know, let's be honest here. What kid comes to the manager and says, "Boss, I'd like to play. I want more first team football." Okay, well, I'm going to have to be considerate here. I'll give you not the next game, but the game after. You can't say anything like that. And then what happens is, because they don't start the Old Trafford game, they hand in a transfer request. I was going to say friend request then for some reason. And that's a massive problem. And then you have all these players, and what happens is you can't hold on to these quality players that you've nurtured, you've brought through, and you're really happy with yourself. And so it goes on, and you lose all your young players, and everything just screws up. So that's my problem with this game. Massive, massive problem. And I suppose the other reason as well is I have nothing else to win. It really is that simple. I know I can do the quad and stuff, but I also needed to spruce up the series. I'm getting kind of bored with, you know, just not Football Manager, because I'm enjoying the Celtic series. I actually, believe it or not, although it does not seem it on paper, but I actually really am enjoying it. That's difficult, but it's enjoyably difficult. You know, things like the San Marino challenge, that's not enjoyably difficult. That's just difficult. Period. Celtic in the Premier League is enjoyably difficult. But yeah, anyway, moving on. Arsenal. So that's just our little side thing out the way. We're at Arsenal now. Why Arsenal? They were the first team to basically sack their manager, and the first opportunity that came up, I was like, I need a new team. A few people saying, why don't you do a sort of mini Pentagon challenge? I have considered that, and because I'm already on FMC, and obviously I don't want to start a new save, please, I'm not one of these people who has to start afresh every single time. I don't like starting new channels, I don't like starting new saves a lot. I don't like things, I just build on what I have. It's why this channel is called Media Machinima. It's got fuck all to do with Machinima, well, apart from the fact that it's partnered, but that's gone on, but at the time it didn't have anything to do with that either. This was a Machinima channel, and you know, I didn't want to start again. I just built on what I had. I had 20 subscribers when I started doing the Football Manager thing, and I've just built and built on it. So that's what I'm going to do. On this save, I'm going to build on it. Yeah, I've done 20 odd years of progress in it. I'm not going to stop it now just for the sake of, you know, starting with a new team. So I'm going to stay in this sort of universe, if you will, and we're going to go from there. This is where they are in the league currently. They are 9th. Not doing very well at all. I was ironically holding out for the Tottenham job. I thought they were going to sack their manager, Joe Dawson, who I still don't know who he plays for. Doesn't even have a birth location. He's unknown, so he could be an alien for all I know. And he wasn't sacked. He's actually, believe it or not, stable, because I've been waiting for that Tottenham job to come up, and it didn't happen. And then all of a sudden, Scott Allen got sacked as the Arsenal manager. And here we are now. I've actually got a really big budget, but what I've done is I've really noticed lately that, one thing I suppose is, where are we? Off the contract. You know, that they offered all this in 30k a week or whatever. £30,000 a week. That's not a lot. I mean, it is, obviously, but, you know, in terms of what they were offering me like 80k a week. I was like, the wages don't mean anything. For, you know, your wages. What do they mean? Nothing. I've got enough anyway. You know, I've took in loads of money anyway from Liverpool and Brighton, so it doesn't matter. And before you do say anything, yeah, I know they go towards your points on the leaderboards. I don't care about the leaderboards. So honestly, I'd rather have these wages, not like FIFA Manager, where, you know, like your wages go towards houses, and cars, and your kids' university funds and stuff. You know, it's a bit different than that. So what I'm going to do now is show you the team. And it's nice and small, about just a little bit the right size. And I'm actually going to do a live commentary for you. We're going to be playing against Juventus. I realise it's not in the league, but it's my first game. I thought I'd show you the first game. Ironically, we have actually already qualified from the Champions League. If I just get this up here, scouting range is now upgraded. Ah, that's good. Perfect timing. And yes, this is, let's see the run. So we actually did beat West Brom. However, we played Liverpool? Oh no, we lost, sorry. I thought that we'd won then. And yeah, Champions League. So we've already qualified, believe it or not. And just to point out, this was my first game, or this is going to be my first game. So I have nothing to do with this. I just want to point it out. This is the team. Now, you might recognise one or two players here. We've got, remember this guy? I think he was at Brighton, Linus Johansson. He's now 31. He looks stoned. Yeah, he was at Brighton for one season and threw the biggest almighty strop in the world. And holy shit, that is ridiculous. No wonder they're doing so poorly. They're paying nearly 40 million for this load of shite. Good grief. Unfortunately, it's kind of unfortunate that this guy is now 34. He is superb. He scored so many goals against me. He's one of the best players on the game and has been for a number of years. Andrei Christov, of course, scored many goals against me. There's Pedro Lima, who's a good player. I nearly scouted years ago. Unfortunately, Arsenal got in front of him. Paulino, he's a good little player. But again, I've talked about the ageing squad. I mean, there aren't too many. I've brought in a few youngsters from the reserve team, or the under-21s, as they're called now. And yeah, it's all kind of all over the place, really. Yeah, so we've also got, let's see what have we got here. There's the wonderfully named Anthony Power. He's got a good, wow, yes, that's what you want. I'm tempted to call him Max now. Also got Abdoulaye, or whatever the hell his name is. He's meant to be, yeah, but anyway, you know when I'm going on about these players, we've picked the team, or I've let the assistant pick the team, since I have no clue about any of these. Interesting, we've got, again, sort of similar thing at Liverpool. We've got two quite high potential goalkeepers. That may cause us a problem, and they're both young as well. But 29 is really good for a goalkeeper, certainly. And Tony Perry, ooh, he's English. That's what you want. You always want a good English keeper, don't you? So, well, this one we can relax slightly, but it is certainly worth noting that I'm gonna play the full strength team when it comes to Arsenal. I'm not going to play Christoph though, because there's no need for me to. Interestingly, Vanden is that his full name? Vanden Bulkel? What? Vanden Bulkel. What I just said, Vanden Buckle, but it's not. Okay, that's a strange name. And yeah, I'm just going to see where we go. So let's do it. So a lot of people are going to say, "No, I'd like to see you at another team," and so on. And hey, here it is. It's Arsenal, and maybe build Arsenal back up. And I know they're in the Champions League already, but it wouldn't really make a lot of sense. My sort of world class, my world class rating or whatever it's called, reputation, and then going to a championship team. You know, I've already done the championship, but I've been to Brighton, I've built them up, and you know, went on my way there. Now I think the point is you take a team who probably are doing slightly worse than what they should be doing, and that's 1-0. Well done, Jonas Geisler, or Geisler. Is it I or an L? I can't tell. Anyway, that's not the point. It's 1-0 at Juventus. That's the first goal of the Arsenal campaign for me. I just want to point out that this is the only live commentary I'm going to be doing. It's just so like I can give you an intro, you know, like a sort of quick fire intro about Arsenal. We'll get some shouts on the go. I'm not going to push higher up. Just past the feet. Oh God, put a tackle in. Jeez. Oh Jesus, that was a good hit. To be fair, Lee Jung Jae. Wasn't a special goal by any means, but let's move to control. Okay. Obviously, bear in mind, I've still got to, you know, implement all my tactics. Literally, like I got the job like 2 days before this game, so you know, so I've not had like a chance or anything. And it's FMC as well. One thing I've noticed about FMC, which is really weird, is if you do go unemployed on this and then a job comes up, you might not actually get the chance to apply for it, because what happens is you could say a job comes up whilst you're you'll press continue and then simulate like a week, 2 weeks. If in that time a job comes up, there is no way you can switch, you know, back to like the actual game interface. There's no, you know, whatever the button is, you know, browse. There's no browse button. So if a job comes up and then gets filled, well, you're shit out of luck. It's just, what's the point of that? You know, what is the point? It just doesn't make any sense. And we are now kind of getting pegged by this Juve team. I wouldn't be too disappointed at this point by a point either, considering Juve are probably the big team in the group. I think Arsenal was second. Second team. Oh my days! Don't know what happened there. Right, yeah, I think we definitely need to go back to standard since we are getting a little bit. We had a great start, but unfortunately, it's actually not working out too well since actually scoring that goal. Right, we'll try again. I want to point out, if you are first time viewer to the video or whatever, because you know I know the sort of first parts always are more viewed than the rest, and you're quite bemused by what's going on. This is 2034, so all the players obviously are very different. Oh my God, just get it away. And yeah, everything's all, yeah, well basically everything's different to what you know now. There's been a nuclear winter. No, not really. This is what happens when you progress into the game, basically. And you know, I realise I've got to actually speak like that because it amazes me how, you know, I was expecting, when I did this, I was expecting a lot of people, you know, to really know about the game and, you know, really give high-end details. But I'm finding more people, if anything, watch these videos not knowing a lot about the game, which surprised me really. But hey, you know, whatever. First, you got to start somewhere, haven't you? So 1-1 at the moment, not the greatest in the world, but we'll start the second half nevertheless. Let's get some more shouts on the go because they didn't really work. I don't want to say push higher up, let's say get stuck in. Hope that won't lead to more red and yellow cards. Oh, and this Lee Jung Jae, I remember him. He used to, well, he's not going to back up my argument when I say this, but with that shot, but he actually was a decent player. I can't remember who he played for. I think it was Tottenham, I want to say. Not been Tottenham, might have been. No, not Tottenham. Who was it? I can't remember. It was someone reasonably big anyway, at the very least. Right, we go. We've got a set piece here. Get a good ball to swing in. And he, well, that was just terrible. What was that? He didn't even remotely get near a red shirt there. Vucinovic, I'm going to say it's, if I don't know if that's a harsh C or a whatever type of C it is. Again, my pronunciations are absolutely appalling, because these are regens, so I have no idea. You know, you don't actually hear a person say the names, therefore you've got nothing to go on. That's a good ball. Oh, not far away from Van den Buchel. I don't understand. Is that like a typo? I reckon it was meant to be Van den Buchel, but yeah, it's like just come out like that, wrong. Some weird names, isn't there, on this game? It really is. Oh, good save by Perry. And we are being I won't say we're being, yeah, we are being dominated. Let's just cut the shit. Let's say we are. Okay, we'll give. Let's see, who else can we give a run out to? We'll try a new striker. Let's try Pedro Lima off for Peter over here. since I'm not going to say his name. He is number 10 after all. I'm just going to assume that all these players are advanced forwards as well. That's where the majority tend to play them, and especially if you're away at Juventus, it's not really ideal that you have a poacher, for example. They're not going to be much use. Urena is the captain, in case you're wondering, number 6 there. Got the accent on it, so I don't know what accent that means. And a good save again from Perry. I love how on this match engine the ball doesn't really look as if it's made contact with anything. Oh my days. There you go. Like the goalkeeper, it doesn't look as if the goalkeeper's touched it. It's almost like the ball is just a few inches in front of him. It doesn't like no sign that he's actually made contact with the ball in any way. And that sort of deceives you when it's going at a real pace as well. Right, okay, we've got 10 minutes to go. Oh dear, that's they're looking dangerous. We will bring on. Let's see here. Trying to decide. Let's bring on Subirez. He's a good player. That's a good save by Perry. So he looked okay. He's looked okay in goal. Hopefully I haven't jinxed it. But I think we can maybe go for this. If we go attacking for like the next sort of 5 minutes. I don't want to push higher up because I'm reasonably happy with the point. A pretty difficult game. Oh, well, that's just jumped all the way through to 92nd minute. Well, that was good. As the game typically does. Nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. There we go. Maybe one final attack. No, it's a free kick. A dubious decision, and Witt will be booked here. He's got to be. He's committed so many fouls. I don't even think we'll get to take this, especially if it's short. Yep, there you go. That's enough. Points, not bad. Not bad in the opening game against a really good Juventus team. We've already qualified anyway, so it didn't really matter. And I think against I would assume head-to-head, therefore we have qualified in first place. So you're lucky to draw. Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Let's see, where did Lee Jong-jae previously play for? Oh, I must be getting all my Korean names mixed up then. I have no idea. They all sound the same to me. Her racist. So this is the state of the league then, and we'll see what happens. I will give a update then, as we usually do, in February, and then in June, I guess, or at the end of the season, and then in February, June, and so on and so forth until the end of time. So thank you for watching. If you have any feedback for me, please do give, and I'll see you then in a few months for the February review. Bye bye.